Today's sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. And this was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Denver Broncos. And this will not be fielded. It's a touchback and comes out to the 25. Run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver, but he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front, so if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him, picks up 3 on that carry.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro linebacker. It's Von Miller, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver.
Brandon McManus lining up for the...
It was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Watch the run, watch the run. Watch the twist.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Buying time to his left. He'll have a first. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
They'll run with Lindsey. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The Bronco ball carrier.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. One more time with Lindsey. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. They tried to let the fullback pound it in between the tackles, but he stopped up short. And the Steeler defense will celebrate the goal line stand. Now a handoff here to his running back. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Back to throw now in his own end zone. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it first and 10 now out past the 20. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
He was taken down by Reuben Foster. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7 at the 25-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
The give to the brother of J.J. This is Derek Watt. And really a nice job there to make something out of that run. Sidestepping defenders for a pickup of 4.
4 yards on the
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. And they give this time to the tailback. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll look to throw here. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Broncos. They'll take over first and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run. This is Melvin Durham. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They go back to Gordon here on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
Brings up second and 10 at the Steelers' 38-yard line.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 27 yards there, a first down.
27 on the play.
Now a first and 10 at the 11. Now Gordon on first down. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
A gain of a yard.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Ryan Switzer on the return. The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd.
He'll look to throw.
At the 28-yard line.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Flushed out right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
31-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
They don't get nothing.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? 2nd and 6. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
At the 6-yard line.
They'll set up a throw. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy.
Brendan McManus.
Jerry Jeudy, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
Is good.
Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Being chased out left. Now he'll square up, and it's caught inside the 25. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 20-yard line.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 4.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A pass there complete to Sutton. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And it's third down.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
2nd and 10. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
19 yards.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Gordon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
The 38-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's now 4th down.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
But based on the last two play calls we just witnessed, the word conservative is not in their playbook. Incomplete, and then they decide to throw deep from this point on the field. That's a team that's really getting after it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to go up top again. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
By the Broncos.
Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This is the tight end Fant. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
At the 5-yard line.
Noah Fant was a first-round pick in 2019, and he was picked because of his receiving skills. Had 40 catches in his rookie season for 562 yards. Did have 2 games where he topped 100 yards.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Melvin Gordon. His second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Kick is good.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some time right. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
Steelers 7.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards on the play. First down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 16-yard line.
4 yards.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Eluding the pressure right. And this will be caught by his big tight end, Ebron, for a Steeler touchdown. Eric Ebron there to make the grab. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now.
That's the score. Broncos 24, Steelers 14. Here's Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
On the return. The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Number 25.
There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
2 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Judy, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
And the Broncos
They'll try and grind some clock with Gordon. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Gordon, the ball carrier.
4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
It's a
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one good for 26 and a first down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. This is Gordon as they go to him again. Down right around the 25. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he had to get this down to the 15. He won't make it. He's a yard or 2 short. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And McManus able to put it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Ryan Switzer on the return. The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 11. And now look at him go. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth.